You have built embeddings, but without this, your RAG application is useless. Today, we will build the semantic search layer that makes the AI actually intelligent. By end of today's challenge, we will have a semantic search service for the customer reviews. A search will search by meanings, not keywords. Fully managed Snowflake Cortex service will be using, which is secure, scalable, and production ready. But before going into the demo, let's understand what is semantic search and why we use this Snowflake Cortex service. So, semantic search is a search engine technology that interprets the intent and context meaning of words and phrases rather than relying individually on the exact keyword meanings, right? So, the Cortex Search Service, this is one of the AI services by Snowflake, which is managed by it, and it's a semantic search service provided by Snowflake that can understand the meaning, not just the keyword. It automatically indexes the data. It syncs the data from the table. It inherits the service, the security and governance properties and the functionality from Snowflake. So for customer review that we are working in these challenges, so if a user searches the warm gloves, so it will find the reviews that is mentioning toasty hands or cold fingers, right? So this is how this search and the Cortex search service will really help us to build the AI app. Today is day 19 of 30 days of AI coding challenge. This challenge is structured in a way that you learn by doing and step by step build the AI app using Streamlit in Snowflake. Let's start with the demo. This is day 19 app. So Cortex Search for customer reviews. We are creating a semantic search service for the customer reviews. This is the database. This is the schema. It's just providing the information. To creating this search service, first we need to create the search view. Okay, so that we can make sure the data should be clean. So it's basically picking up the data from the review chunks table that we created in day 18, and it's just making sure that the text should not be null. Okay, we'll click on create search view. View is created. Step 2, creating the Cortex search service in Snowflake. So the syntax is really simple. So create or replace the Cortex search service. There are three keywords that you need to mention. Okay, Cortex search service, simple. And then mention the DB schema in which you want to create the service and the name of the service itself. The name is customer review search. Now, on means on exactly which column from the view. Okay, so we know this is the view that we created earlier. We are using that view in the Cortex search service. We are selecting all the columns from that view, but which column we want the service to go and search for the context, so which is the chunk underscore text column. Okay, attribute means what additional attribute you want apart from this in case you want to return as a metadata. So you can mention this file name and the chunk type. Okay, these two columns are there. Now warehouse, which warehouse you want to use. Warehouse means the compute in the Snowflake. So you can create your own warehouse, but by default this is available. Target lag means how frequently you want your service to check for the target and refresh for that, right? So it's a refresh frequency. If you mention 1 hour, it could be minutes, it could be seconds. You by default, I think it's good to check for the 1 hour every 1 hour, right? Because it totally depends on the use case. If your data in the table is updating more frequent, you can set that frequency. Cool. Now, so this is the warehouse that we are using, and then click on create search service. It will create the Cortex search service. You can see it showing the status. It's creating that service. So I think there is some issue in the Cortex service that I've created, but I'll fix it. But just to give you an overview, after creating this service, we need to just click on the list my Cortex service, and you will find this list because I've already created the service. That's why this is working. So it will show like this. Okay, see, this is the name of the service, DB schema, and all this property. It's already mentioned over here. Okay, this is the step 3 that you need to do in this day 19. Let's move to the code walkthrough quickly. Cool. Day 19 code walkthrough. So we'll quickly go to the main additional step. So database configuration, we are picking up the DB name schema from the previous day and configuring it, showing its database configuration over here. The starting this container number 1, this is prepared through this. Okay. And after that, we are creating the Cortex search service. So it's just mentioning that what it is, right? As I already have explained. Now, how we can create it, but before that, we need to create a search view so that this can be used in the Cortex search service. So as I already mentioned, this is the code for that. And simply, this is the additional filter. We are just collecting this view and the showing view is created. Now we are creating the Cortex search service, which is, you can see, we can in fact change the name of the warehouse from here as well. If you want to change, you can change it. Okay, something whatever you want to make. Okay, cool. And here same query. Okay, as I've already explained, it's just showing the status that it's creating this service. Okay, and it will create this status like this. Okay, there is some error over here. Okay, let me fix this. Okay, so this like status it will show, and once it's done, it will update the status that the search service is created. Okay, now and it's adding that putting that search service name in the session state. Once this is done, we are just verifying and checking if it exists or not by executing this query, which is show Cortex search services in schema. What's the schema name? We are just providing DB and schema in the collect. We are collecting this data as a result, and if something is there in the result, we'll just say yes, we found it. We found one Cortex service, right? You see that, right? If you click on this, it shows one Cortex service, right, in the DB and schema. Now we are just converting that result into a data frame and showing that over here. This is into the data frame, and the rest, if there is any error, it will show that error and exception. That's it. Now there's some additional document that you can check for Cortex service if you want to go in detail. Okay, I think the link is not working, but I'll give you the latest and correct link in the description of the video. And let's move to the implementation part. So for implementation, you just go to the previous day, click on duplicate, and meanwhile copy the main piece of code from top, open the app, paste it here, right? We have this file, paste it here, and then once it's done, click on reboot. It will pick the latest code. Starting. Here you go. Okay, we have the app ready. Make sure to complete all previous day challenges before proceeding with day 19, because that will really help you to understand this today's challenge better. What we did today, we built a semantic search service in Snowflake. We call it as a Cortex search service. We connected the embeddings to the search, and we created the backbone of a RAG system. This is Sudeep Kumar. If you want to see more of my videos, make sure you like the video and subscribe the channel, and do share with your friends. Try creating your own Cortex search service and comment done once you complete today's challenge, and get ready for tomorrow where we query this Cortex search service and retrieve the relevant response. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.